Wizard Liz built her brand around self-worth, healing, and never settling. But now she's been accused of, hypocrisy, cloud chasing, and lots more, and the internet is divided. But like, what happened? Why everyone is suddenly hating on her? Let's talk. If you have been on TikTok or here in India YouTube for the last 2 years, you have heard of Wizard Liz. Everybody has heard of Wizard Liz. She was mothering a lot of kids. She's known for her blunt advice, basically telling women to level up in love and life. She's not just an influencer, she is a moment. But like recently, her life has become, you know, the drama she warns others about, which is really sad because none of this is her fault. But let's talk. So earlier this year, she basically exposed her fiance slash husband because they call each other husband wife. If you see their videos or anything and if you follow them religiously, which I did, I mean not him, but I followed Liz like since her first video when she had like literally 20 views. I've been following her since, at least on YouTube. I don't know about TikTok because we don't have TikTok in India. So she basically exposed Landon Nickerson, I think that's his name. We never knew about him because we just thought she was with her ex-boyfriend and then they broke up and then she was single and suddenly this guy comes up and like, they are engaged and she's like vlogging with him, which we were all happy about because we were like, oh, she found love. But turns out he was talking to another girl trying to hook up with her from his secret Snapchat account, and then the girl messaged Liz's friend. That's how she found out, and that's like when she decided after 24 hours, like, I'm gonna post these screenshots because this is insanity. This guy was clearly love bombing her, like the way he was talking about her, like, you are a goddess, you are this, you are that. And she was 4 months pregnant. I don't know if they were legally married or if they were just married and never registered. I don't know any of those things. But she was like, we know that she was 4 months pregnant, and people on the internet or Redditors are saying that she kept the baby. Of course, after 4 months, you cannot get an abortion in any country because that's not legal in any country because you will die. Also, you can be pro-choice, whatever, but a lot of people are pro-life, and a lot of people, you know, do not just go abort when you plan it, or you don't even plan it, but you have had this baby for 4 months. You're not gonna just go abort because you found out your partner was cheating on you. I mean, that's insanity. Why would you say that she's keeping it? Of course, it's her baby. At the end of the day, she's gonna keep it. I'm not saying that you can't. A woman can decide if she wants to keep a baby or not keep a baby. We shouldn't judge because that's like a very personal matter. Whatever netizens on Reddit is saying is really, really heinous. And I do not agree with that sentiment at all. Anyways, when she released these screenshots, everybody felt sympathy for her. People were heartbroken for her. People were rallying behind her. And then suddenly everything changed, and everybody like started making videos of exposing her past and saying that she was an escort and she uses men for money and she's this, she's that. Let's talk about it more. Basically, when she got cheated on, she on her story, she mentioned that she's gonna sell her engagement ring, which Landon gave her, and she's gonna donate that money to single moms everywhere. So the ring was, I think, estimated to 100K, and later she tells people that she cannot sell it because legally it's not hers. And I think Landon had something to do with it because she said legally. So I think like he said he threatened her or something like that, because she did happen to donate her own money to this, like, to single moms, and she has like proved it. She has like shown the receipts, and people have like basically said, yeah, I got the money, and like there are messages and stuff. So she did donate, but she donated, I think, 50 grand, which is a lot of money, like 50 grand USD. And she said that she'll sell the ring and she'll get 100K USD, which I still feel 50 grand is a lot of money. I'm just saying she didn't need to donate even a penny, but she donated 50 grand, and she did say that she will sell the ring. So she kept her word in a way because she couldn't sell the ring. And all I'm saying is like people are just accusing really successful women of being an escort because people can't fathom that women can make it on their own ever. And people are like, oh, on YouTube she makes money, but before that, where was she? We don't know any history. She was modeling. She was working odd jobs. She has talked about her history in her videos. Have you seen her videos? Are you a fan or no? Like she has talked about like being 16 and working in a factory with her mom, and sister or whatever, and then like she having no money because her dad, whatever. Like she has talked about her trauma and stuff. She has also done live, I think a YouTube live or something, I'm not sure, with the best friend. And like I think they advised also. And he also said, when you didn't have money and I didn't have money, whatever I had, I fed you, I did this. Like she has like, talked about those hardships as well. So suddenly people to say, oh, where was she? What did she do? She worked odd jobs to make a living, okay? She was also modeling. And every model like you think is like an escort, which is so sad because, models are also like working really hard. Like it's so hard to be that skinny and work out like that. I mean, like, come on, let's give some credit to women all over the world, okay? Let's not just say you are what you are because of men, because you are an escort, which nothing is wrong with that. But I'm just saying most women are being successful on their own. But whenever something happens, any controversy, people accuse them of being an escort, and then internet gets crazier with it. I think it all started because she dated this guy and she has like openly talked about this dude who was a billionaire or something like that, and he was in Dubai, and this guy was making a lot of money. I think she talked about in a podcast. I can't fucking remember the name of the host, but I watched the podcast, and it was really like a really good watch, really good listen. You should actually watch it. Anyways, she was talking about this billionaire dude who was in Dubai, but he was making a lot of money, but he wouldn't spend anything on her. And she was like, why are you telling me? Why are you telling me that you're making so much money when you are not like, doing anything for me? So whatever money, like you're poor to me, which I I totally agree with. We treat people when they have money differently because they expect that kind of behavior. Like if you, even in your friend group, if you see like if someone has more money than you, they will expect you to treat them like royalty, okay? And then they are not spending that money on you. Why would you treat them like royalty? Like you are just an ordinary person to me. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank account, that money is not doing anything for me, which is a fact, which is like I don't understand like why people are calling her an escort or anything because she dated a billionaire who wouldn't spend on her, and she complained about that. And then like she dated this guy who was not great. We all have heard him in live, and we have all said like this guy is not okay because he, I think, one time joked really badly about her dad, which we all know that her dad is not a good dad in any way. And like she has like a lot of trauma from you know anyways, like I don't want to get into her trauma because that's, I think, personal to her. And like whenever she says that, she's actually making a point and like telling us to be better as an audience and women in general, because I don't know, I think we need women like that to like uplift other women. And she's very blunt. She gives like big sister advice. I mean, calling her a mother is crazy. Calling anyone a mother on the internet is crazy. But that's like her audience. She's not doing anything about her. Like she's not being like, yeah, I am your mother. She's not doing that. She calls herself like a big sister. She doesn't like say that I'm your mother, She's not encouraging her fans to call her that. All I'm saying is like people are just can't just you know can't be happy for a successful female. They have to accuse her of being in a escort, which is so sad. So Liz did not post for a while. I mean, she was posting stories and like Snapchats and stuff, but she wasn't posting like a long format video on YouTube because obviously she was pregnant, and finding out that you are like 4 months pregnant with this guy who's cheating on you and like gaslighting you. Imagine like dealing with that kind of like situation. Like first you'll be you'll be in denial, like come on, like you're pregnant with this dude, and then like you accept it, and then you expose him, and then the internet like is like heartbroken for you, and suddenly everybody's calling in a escort and calling you a gold digger. Like all of those things, you have to like getting immense amount of public hate when you're like you're most vulnerable because you're pregnant and just gotten cheated on from your so-called husband. Imagine all of that for any gender. It's a lot. So she didn't make any long form video, but finally she made it recently, and like she talked about basically she titled, like she has such a sense of humor. She said how to get cheated on, and then she was explaining like she wasn't replying to him because he just behaved like her ex, like very possessive and all of those things, and then she like got 10k from him and said like, hey, this is 10k, and I'm like showing you that I'm serious, this is an investment for me, and I see you as my wife, and this is my way of showing you. And then like for some people who have grown up in like a very toxic environment where like men do not do anything, they don't provide, when you see a man providing, and when a man is standing on business like that, you, even if you have a lot of money on your own, you see them as like, okay, a keeper. And I think that's what she saw in him, and then like she got played, because like the guy, have you seen their videos? He's like a simp for her, and like imagine cheating on her, like a woman like her. Come on, any woman, do not cheat on women. I'm just saying that like this is crazy. Also, don't cheat on men, because like, come on, like men are also great. I'm just saying cheating in general is bad. Okay, any gender, do not cheat on each other. If you want to leave, you leave. Do not cheat. Okay, because men also don't deserve to be cheated on, and women also don't deserve to be cheated on. But calling someone an escort because you can't explain their wealth is insanity. Imagine calling a man an escort because you can't explain his wealth. No one has ever done that, huh? Also, I feel like people don't realize when you become big on YouTube, it becomes a business, right? You become a brand, and then you can have multiple other businesses. So even if your videos are not performing well, like we see like views dropping and still they have money because they have other businesses they invested in when they had money. So they are still very, very rich. And whatever like 20k, 30k views you get, they're still making a lot of money from that, because like it's just hard to explain, but they are still rich and they're gonna be rich. And people saying like, oh, their views are dropping, not saying about Liz because she's still pulling in millions, but people, like saying she is not posting for this long. How does she have money? Because of investments. And nobody is that dumb. I would assume like who have made it big, that they have multiple businesses. Even if they're not posting, they're still making a lot of money. For most people, even like me, they post for hobby, and if it becomes like a business, then it becomes like a business, and you can use that money for investment purposes. Because YouTube is a career that if you make it on YouTube, it's not gonna last forever. So you make a lot of money, you know, but you have to like be really quick about it, because nobody's going to make a lot of money for like 20 years on YouTube. I mean, not everybody is Trisha Paytas, which love her, but not everybody is her. So I'm just saying, a lot of people have a lot of businesses and thinking like people don't get views and people are not posting. So how are they making money? They have businesses. They have invested their money well. David Dobrik did not post for years, and like still hosting 10 million stuff going on. I don't know, I don't want to get into that, but like he's very rich, we all know that, but he didn't post for a very long time. So how does he have money? Did anyone accuse him of being an escort? I don't think so. Also, calling any woman gold digger is crazy to me, because I have always said this to people, like a man would not be with an ugly woman, and yes, ugly women exist, come on, look at me, but whenever a girl says like I want a provider, which men are supposed to be doing, everybody calls them a gold digger. Again, men are not with ugly women. Come on, again, look at me. They're not with me. But whenever a woman has standards, they are called a gold digger, they're called a bitch, whatever, whatever. But a man has a standard, you have to be traditional, you have to be this, you have to be that. Then it's like, oh, you have to be a wifey material. Such hypocrisy on the internet and real life. Something to think about. Anyways, I couldn't figure out an angle this entire video, but that's okay. I just wanted to rant a little bit because this is what I do at 3:30 a.m. Anyways, if you wanna see more of these, please subscribe to my channel, because please do it. Please subscribe. Anyways, subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments what are your thoughts about Wizard Liz. And please don't call her like a gold digger or an escort, because come on, let's come up with better insults for people. Even if we don't like them, let's come up with like better insults. Like gold digger is like so, I don't know, 2010.